So, Bill Maher, host of Real Time with Bill Maher, speaking about the 2020 election once again, and he talks about Bernie Sanders. Now, to be quite frank with you, I'm starting to lose value in Bill Maher's opinion because he just keeps flip-flopping over and over again. He switches his positions way too often to this point to where it's like, okay, why do you keep flip-flopping? He goes from hardcore Bernie guy 2016 to I'm taking a hard look at Amy Klobuchar and these other centrists. And now he seems to be kind of falling back. Speaking about Bernie, check out the Bernie tee that I just picked up. So he's going to flip back over to Bernie Sanders again here. He has good rationale as to why, but he seems to be all over the place. Let's check it out.
Well, to a degree, do we want the progressive? I like Bernie and Elizabeth Warren, but I feel mostly, or have said, that, somebody like Pete or Amy Klobuchar could win more easily. But I tell you why Bernie Sanders is attractive to me now? Because he's the only Democrat who, like Trump, has an army. Who, when it gets to this other level, he's got a bunch of badass motherfuckers who will get in the streets.
So he's actually not wrong about this. So there's two ways to test or to come away with that inference, the inference that he's making, which is that there are a lot of badass motherfuckers who are ready to roll for Bernie Sanders. One of those is just to look at social media, see his supporters in person, just understanding who his supporters are. There's one way. But also, there is like a numerical, statistical manner in which you do that. And actually, if you've been reading the polling data that's been coming out consistently in every poll that comes out, whether it's from Iowa, New Hampshire, national, really doesn't matter. Bernie's supporters are the supporters who are most convinced that they're going to support him. In other words, there's only like 48% in a recent poll, I believe it was an Iowa poll, that said that, who are Joe Biden supporters, who said that they're for sure voting for Joe Biden, but it was like 70 plus who were like, yeah, I'm 100% voting for Bernie Sanders. And so what that means is a really, really big benefit for Bernie Sanders and his campaign is that his voters are going to vote for him. They are committed to voting for Bernie Sanders. They are big Bernie Sanders fans, right? And there are a lot of them. And so he's absolutely right. And he's right that the enthusiasm of Bernie Sanders supporters are unmatched when it comes to anybody, really, except for the Trumpies, in terms of the amount of enthusiasm. And so that's what's going to happen when you have a centrist, boring candidate like a Pete Buttigieg or an Amy Klobuchar, whoever the centrist may be. It doesn't matter because there's nothing really to be excited about. There's nothing you're really voting for. So it's just kind of a boring candidate. But Bernie Sanders, he stands for so many different issues. He is somebody who embodies a movement. And his authenticity alone is enough to inspire people because our political system is such bogus right now in terms of being corrupt, etc., etc. So that's why so many people are excited to support Bernie Sanders and will support Bernie Sanders. And the crazy thing is, people keep donating to Bernie, people like you and I. And we never max out because it's 2,700. And so it takes a long time for us to max out because that's a lot of money, obviously. So he's obviously right about this. Where is he going to make his conclusion as to who he's going to support? I have no idea. He did point out that Joe Biden was corrupt. He did defend Zephyr Teachout in her article. She's a law professor who wrote an op-ed saying that Joe Biden has a corruption problem. So, he seems to be teetering back away from the centrism over to progressivism. He really does seem to be doing that. So that is pretty cool. But I'm really starting to kind of not value his opinion much. Kind of like I did with Scottie Pippen when he kept coming out saying, oh, LeBron's better than MJ. Then like a year later, he's like, oh, MJ's better. And then it's like, okay, well. And when someone flip-flops so much, kind of like, okay, you can just say anything. You know what I mean?